This is the Tigers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Are you serious? I mean, come on, Tigers. What a game. What a finale. A series sweep. It's the live Locked On Tigers postcast. I'm your host, Jake Rietma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Rietma. A 7-2 win in 10 innings over the Cleveland Guardians. Boy, do we have a ton to get to. The series sweep. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I mean, I think the Guardian season is over, and this Tigers team just continues to cruise. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. We'll talk about that sweep. The comeback Cats. Zach McKinstry scores on a wild pitch in the ninth in a 1-0 game to tie it, and then the Bats take over in the 10th. It was incredible. So buckle up, dial it in, and let's get it going on a live Locked On Tigers postcast. Fire up the comments section. I know you're as excited as I am. By the way, Tarik Skubal, 7th scoreless again today. What a game. What a series. What a team. This is feeling like a magical season. So here we go. We begin with our biggest talking point. Don't forget Locked On Tigers postcast, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like and subscribe. And of course, the audio version of today's program available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. So like and subscribe. But my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm all over the place. Let's begin with our biggest talking point in this one. There were several. There's a number of them. We're going to be talking about it all afternoon long. Let's do it. Our biggest talking point.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Look, the Tigers had 3 hits in 2 days at one point, leading to that ninth inning, or the 10th inning, because they didn't even get a hit in the 9th inning. In a 1-0 game, you get Spencer Torkelson getting hit by a pitch, and Zach McKinstry coming in. The steal of second, so crucial, initially called out, which was egregious because clearly, even without replay, the replay assist to overturn it, I think we can all agree that it certainly looked like he was safe even in real time, and clearly gets his hand to second base to steal second, gets over to third, and then on a wild pitch that doesn't even get to the backstop. I mean, I was texting with some buddies during this saying how frustrating it must be to be a Guardians fan, because that's now 10 losses in a row, and the way they lose this one, just insult to injury, because you're 1 strike away from at least salvaging the game. But with the 2-strike count, with Parker Meadows at the plate, you get the wild pitch that just barely gets away from Naylor, the catcher, who is in on a substitution, by the way. And Zach McKinstry, how many things can you say about Zach McKinstry and just playing the game right? First the stolen base, then gets over to third, and then comes in on that wild pitch from Clase that doesn't even get to, I just saw the replay, it doesn't even get to where the Guardians logo is spray painted on the grass behind home plate. It barely gets out of the dirt cutout of home plate, but Zach McKinstry so alertly anticipating a ball in the dirt, gets an excellent jump and is able to score on the wild pitch to extend the game. And then, my goodness, in extra innings, Trey Sweeney back up with the big league club, only spent a couple of days in AAA to figure things out. I just listened to his post-game interview, and he said he just loves being up with the big league club. And boy, did he prove his worth today with the 3-run homer. That made it 4-1. You get the RBI double from Matt Vierling to keep it going. And then Riley Greene, a little uppercut exclamation point on the finale of this one, the 2-run homer from Riley Greene, his first hit versus Cleveland this season, which is just crazy again to say out loud. Baseball's a crazy game. I feel like Tim Kirchin right now. That's what you love about baseball. But let's get to your comments. There's a lot of them to get to. Tigers win this one, complete the series sweep, 7-2 over the Guardians. They're now 57-34, 7 games above 500 on the road. And just, my goodness, we haven't gotten to Tarik Skubal yet. 7 scoreless. Another dominating performance from Tarik Skubal. You look at the final line for him, 10 strikeouts, 7 innings, just the 3 hits, 2 of them by Steven Kwan, by the way, who maybe we find a way to get Stephen Kwan in a Tigers uniform before it's all said and done. But that being said, let's get into your comments. Drum is up first. He says, LFG Tigers. Demetrius McNeil is up next. I said, I hope the Tigers will sweep the stinking Guardians, and I nailed it. 7 unanswered runs, 6 in the 10th. Hey, DJ, play that song one more time. I love it. The Tigers won again. DT Lions. Guardians are 0-10 in their last 10. Love to see that. That's right. It's a 10-game losing streak. We talked about it yesterday. They've been shut out 5 times in those 10 games. And, I mean, I'm watching the highlights right now, and the Riley Greene's home run, his 2-run homer is just so effortless. He just flicks that ball to the opposite field, to left field, over that tall wall in left field. And again, it's his first hit against the Cleveland Guardians this season, but my goodness, it's a 6-run 10th inning. And I know they start the inning with a runner on second, but Trey Sweeney, my goodness, 3-run homer, Matt Vierling RBI double, Riley Greene 2-run homer. Jason Walter, the great reminder here. His comment is, baseball is wonderful and weird. Indeed it is. Ben Rice, Tigers are unstoppable. Don't get caught sleeping. That's right. Stay on the gas. We know they will. Homestand now before the All-Star break. We'll get into that at the conclusion of the show today. But absolutely, you just swept the Cleveland Guardians. Make it a 4-2 road trip, with the series in DC before this, losing 2 of 3, but an overall great road trip over the Cleveland Guardians, and great road trip with the sweep over the Cleveland Guardians. You'll love to see it. Detroit Sports Talk is up next. How do you think Bailey Horn did? That's on the marquee to get to eventually, but Bailey Horn comes in the 8th and unfortunately allows the go-ahead run to score, and only records the 1 out before he's removed from the game. I was a little uncertain why AJ Hinch elected to go with Bailey Horn in that situation, but at the end of the day, the Tigers found a way to pick him up. That's what good teams do. You pick up the young guys who's just up with the big league club. Chase Lee did a great job of limiting the damage, because the Guardians could have scored more than just the 1 run in that 8th inning. And because Chase Lee limits the damage to just the 1 run, then in fact, the Tigers come back and tie it, and he gets out of the 9th inning to extend it to extra innings. So Bailey Horn, not a great job in his debut, but Chase Lee gets his 4th win of the season. He's now 4-0. And I know it's not a high leverage situation, but Carlos Hernandez came in the bottom half of the 10th and just got the 3 outs. He gives up the sac fly with the ghosty runner that starts on second. It is what it is, but you got to give a lot of credit to this Tigers pitching staff all series long against the Guardians. The shutout yesterday, just the 1 run on Friday, and then the 2 runs today, but really the 1 run, kind of a meaningless runner in that extra innings where the Tigers had complete control of this one. Okay. Who's up next? Owen Oliver, McKinstry, team MVP, fits any hole defensively at an elite level and is always on base. That's a good point. Defensively, he played some first base. Why not? After he comes in for Spencer Torkelson as a pinch runner, ties the game thanks to a stolen base and breaking for home on the wild pitch, and then stays in at first base. And the ball's going to find him, and he does a great job fielding that position as a first baseman, never done before at the major league level. So great job, Zach McKinstry. The dude says, Naylor, watch that 5-hole. Gary Myers says, great win. Swept the Guardians in Cleveland. That's awesome. Zing Dad's up next. Says, great series for the Tigers. That's 4th straight win against Cleveland. Plus, this was a nice bounce back from Wash. Very, very good. That indeed it was. Nice bounce back after losing 2 of 3 in Washington. Alivi says, I'm going to invoice the Tigers for my hospital bill because my heart was struggling this weekend. May also need to get a manicure for my poor fingernails. Yeah. It was 3 really close games, biting your fingernails. Absolutely. 3 pretty similar games as well. They talked about that on the broadcast, how that the Tigers Guardians play similar styles. Pitching was at the forefront of this weekend's games. Great pitching from both teams. And like I said, the Tigers had 3 hits in 2 days before that 10th inning. So my goodness, it was great to see the bats wake up the way they did. Kevin Jeffrey is up next. Parker Meadows needs to turn it around. Indeed, he does. Thanks for pointing that out. Gary Myers says, I didn't agree with AJ bringing in the new guy fresh up from Toledo. That's Bailey Horn. Agreed. It's a 0-0 game in the 8th. I knew he was going to tank. Thank goodness we got a second chance. Yep. I word for word, Gary, agree with you. Absolutely. I am right there with you. Absolutely. John Broski, I love this one. I take back everything I ever said about Trey Sweeney. I think we all did when that 3-run bomb found the seats in left field. YouTube user says a bullpen rested for the Tampa series. That's right. Tampa Bay is up next, 6-game homestand before the All-Star break. Ratho F. Kane 88. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, but I love the Brooms as well. Rodney Morgan with a great game. IT Hips. I don't know what I enjoyed more in that game. The Guardians fans raining boos or hearing all these Tigers fans saying, let's go Tigers. Best win of the year. I love it. Yeah, if you were there, let me know. I know my grandparents were there. They said there's a ton of Tigers fans, and that's another enjoyable part of being on the road when your team's winning. Absolutely. Let's go Tigers. You could hear it coming through the television. That's for sure. And like I said, I think the Guardians season is over, where this team is as far as the 10-game losing streak and no signs of it getting any better. The Tigers just continue to create distance in the American League Central and now have a lot of fun to return home before the All-Star break. So great stuff from the Detroit Tigers. All right. Brett Sullivan says, I love Michigan teams beat Ohio teams. Nothing has changed. Frank Norman, what's up? Or what up, though? Tigers do it again. There you go. All right. A lot of other comments. I want to make sure I reach them somehow. E. Wern says Z-Mac is arguably Scott Harris's best trade. Dan Dickerson was talking about him being named to the All-Star game. Jason Benetti as well. Let's hope that that comes through and the campaigning for Zach McKinstry gets him a shot to represent the Tigers at the All-Star game in Atlanta, because he's certainly earned that. But let's keep the lights on. We'll come back with our player of the game and our biggest turning point, and we'll tie a bow on this one next on Live Locked On Tigers Postcast. Don't go anywhere. This episode of the Locked On Tigers Postcast is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever wish managing your money felt a little bit easier? Well, with Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building that wealth. Having everything on one app makes it easier to manage your money and your day-to-day spendings as well. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Monarchmoney.com, code Locked On MLB for half off your first year. Tigers sweep the Guardians. Oh, how sweet it is. It's a live Locked On Tigers postcast, and you love to see it from the Detroit Tigers. You love to see it from Tigers faithful. You love to see it from Trey Sweeney, a 3-run bomb, Matt Vierling, an RBI double, and Riley Greene, a 2-run bomb for the exclamation point in that 10th inning as the Tigers cruise to the extra innings win after the comeback. Cardiac Cats get it done with a run in the 9th. Tarik Skubal, excellent again today, 7 scoreless. I mean, this was a pitcher's duel. Make no mistake about it. This was the definition of a pitcher's duel, and got to give credit to Gavin Williams as well. He really shut out the Tigers and shut them down for 6 innings, as did the Guardians bullpen, before finally the Tigers broke through in the 9th on the wild pitch and broke it wide open in the 10th with the 6 runs. Let's get to our turning point right here on a live Locked On Tigers postcast.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think we could say the turning point was the 9th inning, maybe the 10th inning. There's a couple of instances where this game turned. If we want to get real granular and nitty gritty, this game turning with the stolen base of Zach McKinstry after he was on as a pinch runner, because without the stolen base, I mean, that's the definition of manufacturing a run. You don't even have a hit. You get a hit batsman on the Spencer Torkelson at bat, followed by a stolen base that gets Zach McKinstry in scoring position, and then he gets over to third. And the way he was able to put himself in position to score so crucial because he gets that great jump on the wild pitch in the ninth to come home and score. And without that, the Tigers don't even get to extra innings. But the fly out to left from Wenzel Perez, it was the first out of the inning, and then he gets up to second. Then the ground out to shortstop, McKinstry able to get to third on the Dylan Dingler ground out was important because it was one of those instances where you got to find a way to get to third, and then we all know what happened in that 10th inning. I mean, Javi Baez with the single to lead it off. I was wondering if they were going to send Parker Meadows in that situation playing for one run, because obviously nobody runs better than Parker Meadows rounding third, but Joey Cora, who I've been critical of in the past, actually decides to hold the runner, and then you've got 2 on for Trey Sweeney with the fly ball way back and gone. I did not hear Dickerson's call, but I imagine it sounded something like that. I know Benetti was fired up on the TV broadcast as well. And then Gleyber Torres gets to first on the fielding error. Then you get Matt Vierling with the RBI double and Riley Greene with the 2-run homer. That's a lot of fun, folks. That's a lot of fun watching Tigers baseball. It doesn't get much better than that. Who's our player of the game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Giving a lot of love to Zach McKinstry, and I'm inclined to keep him as the player of the game, or Trey Sweeney with the 3-run homer that really broke it open and gave this Tigers team the lead in extra innings. But Tarik Skubal, my goodness, 7 innings, scoreless, 3 hits, and 10 strikeouts, and another start where he doesn't walk anybody. I mean, what we've come to expect from Tarik Skubal is just not fair. I mean, this is not something that's sustainable, you would think, but he's proven that it is because he's just that good and that incredible of a pitcher. I mean, the Guardians haven't scored against Skubal in 16 innings. I mean, it's just crazy the way he has dominated the Cleveland Guardians. So great stuff from everybody sporting the Old English D, and that's culminating with a series sweep. Things you love to see. Coming up, the Tigers return home for the 6-game homestand before the All-Star break, which, by the way, Zach McKinstry absolutely should be an All-Star. So should Casey Mize. I don't know if they'll get there, but Tigers haven't announced a starter for tomorrow night's game, 6:40 Eastern time at home against the Rays. So 3-game series against the Rays before an off day Thursday, followed by a 3-game series against the Seattle Mariners to close out I know we say first half, but obviously we are more than halfway through this season. So looking forward to that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you for all of your comments. That's what makes the live Locked On Tigers postcast so fun. You got the comments, you got everybody chiming in. We are a community with more than 7,000 subscribers now. So how about that? Shout out to Scott Bentley and all the work that he does on Locked On Tigers. I'm just happy to be along for the ride on the post-game show. And what an Independence Day weekend for the Tigers, sweeping the Cleveland Guardians, and an exclamation point on the conclusion, a dramatic ending with the Tigers scoring 6 runs in the top half of the 10th inning in extra innings to earn the win, 7-2 the final. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk to you the next time on Locked On Tigers. See ya.